Hello and welcome to X-SiM Racing. It is race day 3 and we are at Interlagos. If you missed yesterday, it was an absolutely exciting and electric practice race, but today promises to be all that and more. An absolutely fantastic day of competition ahead of us. I'm David Isaac and I'm here with Justin.
Hello, good evening. Yes, it's nice to be here. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, it's been a little while, hasn't it, since we've commentated together?
It has been a while, but I'm glad to be back, to be commentating aside you again.
And I with you. Hopefully we'll be here to entertain you, and hopefully these drivers will be here to entertain you here at Interlagos. In case you don't know, the track length is 4.3 kilometers. There are 15 tight, difficult corners, and we are here in Brazil, just outside of Sao Paulo. Absolutely fantastic race for us today. Here is the racing format. It'll be a 15-minute qualifying session, which will decide the placement of the first race. First race, based on that qualifier, will be 20 minutes. And in round 2, the results of the first race will be flipped. So if you finish first in race 1, you will be 10th in race 2. That's all the setup we need, and we're just waiting for these drivers. I believe they're finishing practice at the moment, just giving themselves a few more seconds before we start qualifying. Here are the championship standings, the stuff you need to know going into the first couple of races. David Perez, 298 points, and only 6 points behind him is Raul Diago. Raul Diago won the main event of Saturday, the practice race. If you didn't watch it, go watch it after this is finished. Denis Grabowski not too far behind, 278 points for him, and Victor Lobato and Adam Pintes not too far behind themselves. What do you think about this, Justin?
Yeah, it's really close at the field. Of course, we know from last season that it was very close with David P. Perez. At the moment, he's third in practice, only 1.5 tenths behind the number 1, Jody Clara, who is a really fast driver, of course. Last season he was also fighting for the championship. Maybe he can turn it around this time.
Jody Clara not been too great this season. A little bit below where he probably wants to end up being.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's happening, but in general he's a very fast driver, so I think he has a little bit of bad luck. Of course, you don't want to have it, but yeah, it's racing, so these things happen.
That is absolutely true. There's always the element of luck in racing. There's always problems that are out of your control. We see Denis Grabowski, who is currently third in the standings. He's only 9th. Obviously, it is practice, but we were talking about it yesterday. Lamborghinis around this track, maybe not the best choice.
Well, exactly. They are a bit of understeer from what I noticed. I'm driving sometimes myself in the Lamborghini. In general, it's a very nice car with a good setup, but with the baseline setup, it's a little bit off. But yeah, that's also part of this racing season, of course.
Yeah, maybe a bit of work for those guys to do to make up for some of the car's limitations, no matter how lovely Lamborghinis are. Lamborghini's my personal favourite, so always
exactly.
rooting for them.
And that's why I chose it too, because they're so good looking. But yeah, it's always function over form, of course.
Yes, for each and every one of these drivers. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm not a driver. One of many, but one of the reasons.
At least you can have fun. Yeah. Of course, we have a lot of sponsors on board again. Over here we have David P. Perez and the BMW in the Frank Water car. Goes a little bit wide, of course. But yeah, very nice to see that all those sponsors are still on board with us. Here we have the only gear car of Juan Iglesias. Yeah, so if you want to be on this car very soon, just send a message in our Discord or head to our Telegram, and maybe we have you on board for the next season.
Absolutely, yes. And also, if you would like to learn more about any one of these sponsors, you can head over to xsimracing.com, where we have plenty of interesting things for you to look through and get yourself signed up. Yeah, exactly. David P. Perez, very interesting. Season 2's winner, and currently in first place, heading into Season 3. What are you looking for David Perez to do today?
Of course, I think he's the main competitor to win this day's race. Of course, a very fast driver, but I don't think it's going to be easy. Of course, it always has in racing. It's so well. How do you say that? Racing is not always how as it should go. Um,
Mm.
so hopefully he can make the best out of it. If he has a clean lap in qualifying, I'm sure he will have the pace to maintain that first spot. But of course, practice right now. We don't need to forget Jordi Clara and Raul Diago. Of course, as you said earlier, Grabowski is also a very fast driver and currently third in the championship standings.
Yeah, a lot to play for today. A lot of places to be won, a lot of places to be lost. And Raul Diago will be looking to build on quite a fantastic yesterday's race, as he ended up winning on the last lap possible. There was about 50 seconds left of time when Raul Diago overtook Juan Iglesias. First turn, very interesting turn, isn't it? It's a sharp one, that first turn. You come out of, you come off the start line and you've immediately got quite a sharp left.
Yeah, exactly. You're heading into Senna S, as the corner is called. It's a left-hander that goes into a right-hander and again into a left-hander. So track position is really important on this track because everything can happen in that corner. Of course, you can overtake on the outside of turn 1 and keep it on the inside for turn 2 to have a better exit. But still, if you go over the curb too early, you will lose control of the car and lose also the track position compared to the driver on the outside. I'm sure we will see a lot of examples in the race, and that's easier to understand what I mean.
Yeah, some of these drivers do need to be careful. Patience is a virtue, and you really need to keep your concentration on some of these tight turns. About 3 minutes left of practice before we get into qualifying for race number 1, and the list is starting to catch up. Quite a few drivers in here today, about 35 drivers I can see so far, and every single one of them wanting to make an impression.
Yeah, it's getting better even. It's 38 drivers on track right now, so that's very good to see. As we see Kevin de Vries and Martin de Jong not on track right now.
Good drivers, one and all. Tygo Brink, quite an interesting one. Obviously in 32nd at the moment, looking to improve on that time, but obviously we are still in practice. But he had a good last weekend. Last weekend, Tygo Brink had not a bad weekend.
Exactly. It's really very nice to see it. As I said, it's so close. This racing, it's getting better every race, and that's really good to see.
Only about eight very little separating Jordi Clara with a 130.7 and Raul Diago, who is very, very close behind him. Almost nothing separating the two lads. David Perez not much behind either one of them either.
Yeah.
These are some... I'm sorry.
Oh, no, continue.
These are some absolutely fantastic lap times, I was going to say. A 130 is kind of the kind of lap time you're looking to get. If you can get consistently into the 130, then you'll probably find yourself quite high up on the standings.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the top 5 is only 4/10 out of each other, so that's really good to see. And it's all about getting the perfect lap, of course, in qualifying. It's not the case that if you drive a good lap time in practice that you also are driving it in qualifying. So you need to step up your game all the time in qualifying. You want to have that optimal lap.
Absolutely. In case you have just joined us, it is race day 3. We are here at Interlagos in Brazil. Very little separating the top 3, with David Perez still taking the top spot after 2 race days. Raul Diago just behind him, only 6 points behind him. And Denis Grabowski, who was top going into race day 2, is in 3rd. Very little separating all these guys. And it'll be an absolutely fantastic day of racing that we have to show you this weekend. Super interesting. And if you missed the practice race yesterday, Raul Diago took it in an absolutely spectacular finish, just pipping Juan Iglesias to the post. Absolutely nothing separating those two men.
And I think the slipstream in this race is going to be insane too. Of course, with this uphill section, it's very, very good to have some slipstream and trying to lunge it into the outside of turn 1 to keep it here on the inside and having a good exit. All those points on the track, it's insane. If you can keep it behind someone, well, it's a very, very good call. I think it's a very good. There's a good possibility to have it on the inside of turn 4, of course, and overtake the guy in front of you. As qualification is now going to start, Jordi Clara is heading to the track as the first one. Of course, no traffic in front of him, so he possibly wants to have some clean air. For the guys behind, of course, it's very positive to have some slipstream if they can keep up with him in his outlap.
Yeah. So what's the importance of an outlap for any viewers that don't know?
It's very important to warm up the tires. Of course, it's not allowed to brake drag. Brake drag is to hold your brake pedal and warm up the brakes so that the tires will warm up. It's good to drive very slow in this outlap to maintain as much as grip as possible, but you also want to have the heat in the tires, so you have to compromise a lot of stuff. As
one of the absolutely fantastic things about X-SiM racing. Sorry about that, taking over from you again.
Oh, no worries.
We're getting back into our rhythm ourselves, just as the drivers are. We're getting into a bit of a rhythm. I'm sure we'll be on full fire when the race itself fully starts. Just going to talk about it. It's one of the very fantastic things about X-SiM racing and the simulated racing is every single part of the driving experience, every single part of professional racing is simulated, including the heating up of tires. You know, the issues that cars can have if you don't. Unlike a lot of sort of racing games you might be used to, where you kind of just have to worry about the accelerator pedal and the brake pedal. For this, you really have to focus on every single minute detail of racing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing a lot of sim racing the last few years, and last month I was allowed to drive a BMW M3 on track in the circuit Solder, and I never drove that track in real life, but I was only 2.5 seconds off someone that was driving all the time on that track. So the only difference between sim racing and real racing is the G-forces, of course. Yeah, in a real life car, you feel the car turning instead of only feeling it in your steering wheel. So it's very good to see that sim racing is getting so close to real racing. It's unbelievable.
There is very, very little separating, and obviously one of the big benefits of it is in crashes you don't have to worry about your own safety. It's just about basing your car.
Oh, going wide. That's very unfortunate. Of course, Diago behind. There's now a good amount of slipstream, I guess. Oh no, he's stopping. Of course.
Jordi Clara just ignoring his lap time there. Probably going to start again as he knows that won't be a qualifying time that he knows he can do better. He knows he can do better. So exactly. Diago sets the first lap time of the tournament, of the qualifying, with a 1:31.2, quickly beaten by Victor Lobato with a 1:31.09, and beaten again by David P. Perez with a 1:30.8, the first 1:30 of qualifying. Though I'm sure a couple more people will want to get a 1:30 of their own by the time this is finished.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times now on the board. Still wondering for Jordi Clara. Of course, there's a lot of traffic right now. Just a few minutes ago, he had an advantage to have nothing in front of him, but now he needs to find a gap, of course. As we see that Dave P. Perez is the only one in the 130s right now, but I'm sure there will be others. As someone spun over there, I'm really curious who that was.
Yeah, very impressive from David P. Perez. In case you aren't aware, in case you are just joining us, those at the bottom, those are the sector scores. So a green means it's your personal best time, a yellow means it isn't, and a pink time means you have the best time of anyone on the track for that sector. So watch out for those at the bottom if you are unaware what those are.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, as a driver, you only want to see the pink ones. But of course, with this strength of field, it's very, very hard to have all sectors in pink, of course. Feels
Yeah,
so
so,
close together.
it's not good for us. It's not good for the excitement if someone driver has all pink.
David, I know from last race. I mean, last season it was very intense as a commentator because of all the excitement. Wow.
I'm sure we'll find a lot of excitement on this one as well, as most of the drivers are setting their first lap now. About half the drivers have qualified at this point, as we see a few more qualifying times come in. Tony van der Linden with a 1:34.8. Sam Van just a bit ahead of him there with a 1:32.
Ooh, as we see, Raul Martinez is having 3 purple sectors. Wow. Where did that came from?
Jumps himself up quite a bit. Interesting, means he's probably had quite a bit of issue on the rest of the track, as he does about half the track perfectly, and the other half of the track, couple of issues for him there. I don't know, not sure why he's driving off the track so much.
Oh. Yeah, this was after his lap, so there he lost it. But wow, if he can make everything together, well, will be very impressive. As we see, Tom Vos is having a good last sector with driving a 1:31.7 right now. At the moment we see P2, P3 until P5 are very close to each other. Everyone is very close to each other. I mean, the top 10 is less than a second after each other.
Yeah, almost no difference between any of them. All of them are within a hair's breadth between each other. Let's have a quick look at each of these sponsors. We've got Dream Factory here. This is Raul Diago's car. This is always Raul Diago's car. He loves a bit of the Dream Factory, and they sponsor him quite consistently. Frank Warder there, Discover the World, in second place at the moment. If you want to learn more about any one of these fantastic X-SiM Racing sponsors, you can head over to xsimracing.com to find out more.
Exactly, and don't forget to join our community too. Because on the community we will always see the first news of X-SiM Racing, and you can always take a look on it and get us some points. And if you want to know more about that points, please visit the community and learn more about it.
Yes,
that community is a great opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. But maybe hold off until you finish watching this very fantastic race, because I'm sure I don't want to take my eyes off it. So I don't think you will want to either.
Oh, that's so funny.
Johnny Clara, there we go. We were talking about an issue he had earlier. Sorry, that was a very exciting. Someone spun off there, but Johnny Clara with a 1:31.
Yeah, but do you see it? Do you see it? Raul Diago is having the same lap time.
My goodness, that is. I did not see that. Wow.
Wow, this is insane.
I don't think I've seen anyone be quite that close to each other.
Oh. And Raul Diago is now third instead of second, but that's really stressful for him, having the same lap time and being third.
In positive news, he's not going to have to improve on his lap time much to take second place back.
Yeah, that's a good one, exactly.
David P. Perez hangs on to his top spot, though, with a 1:30.8, still with an iron fist, and the top 5 are all BMWs.
Yeah, the BMW is very, very good overall. Overall, the whole season, it's a very good car. It's a very stable car compared to the others. I drove with this car in the 24 hours of the Daytona, and of course in our racing. It will be very nice to do it in real life, of course, but in iRacing, and it's a very, very stable car, especially for the long term. It's a bit of a forgiving car, so that's very good, and that's what you want. You want to keep it on track.
Absolutely, you do. Unfortunately, the Mercedes not having the best of luck, as the top one I can see is in 26th place, and it just there's a few more Mercedes after 26th place, so those ones you'll have to improve quite a little bit if you want to represent that car, as I'm sure Michael wants you to. He was very, very excited when he heard that Mercedes were coming into season 4.
Yeah, but I have to say that the Mercedes is also looking very good. It's such a shame that all the good cars are not the top tier cars.
Yes, unfortunately, the good-looking cars and the cars that function the best maybe don't always go together as well as we want them to.
I mean, look at this car. Wow.
That is a absolutely beautiful car.
I was just taking a look, is he going to hold it in track? As we see over here, that Martin Young took it for a spin.
Unfortunately, Martin de Jong wanted to show that car off just a little bit more to us, so he decided to show us the side of it as he tracked himself out of the track there.
Great side profile car.
Yeah, fantastic to see. Unfortunate for him, though, as we go now to Adam Pintes, who is just trying to improve his time. Not much to improve upon, just 4 people ahead of him, but he'll want to get pole position. Everyone wants to get pole position. Looks at the moment with only 5 minutes left, like it is David P. Perez's, as no one else has been able to crack the 1:30 mark. As I say that, Jordi Clara does it. Gets himself a 1:30.9, but unfortunately still not able to overtake David P. Perez's fast as Fiore time of 1:30.8.
Always, ooh, almost a collision in turn 1. Luckily, no one did get hurt.
Just able to get him out of the way.
I think.
Spins out on turn 1 again. Senna S is a killer. It is a very, very difficult place to see.
Yeah, it's because, with turning in, it's not totally a camber corner, so the corner has not a particular angle to keep it on track, so you will lose the end of the car more easily, and that's very tricky in the beginning, of course, because you want to go as fast as possible through that corner, but you have to be so easy on the throttle. As you see Jordi Clara over here, what is he doing?
Yes. Just comes off the side there. Something to see later on, I think. Not sure exactly what happened there, but he's back on, and obviously for qualifying, all that matters is the quickest time, singular time you can go around. So if you have an issue, now's probably the best time to do it.
Exactly. I think there's a Jordi Clara. Yes. Oh, he's steering to the left in the only gear car. A sponsor that has been with him from the beginning of X-SiM Racing.
Stephen Bird improves his time, gets himself a 1:31 of his own, good enough for 7th place. Daniel Herrera, who came 2nd last season. Daniel Herrera was so close to winning the title, was very, very much pipped on the last day by David Perez, gets himself a 1:31 and gets himself into the top 10. Important to be in the top 10, do you think?
Yeah, it's very important to be in the top 10 right now, especially for the feature race. The feature race is, of course, rewinded. So there will be drivers that are aiming for a top 10 finish in the sprint race to be on pole for the second race. That's a strategy that's also used in the real life racing, of course. So
they get you the same amount of points. So
yeah. So that's the reason why some guys will aim for that 10th place, of course.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to be high enough to get yourself major points, it may be better to drop back just a little bit and improve upon that point total.
Yes.
Next race, get yourself a 1st place, which is 100 points, or 2nd, which is 80.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm really curious about Raul Martinez Trevino. He had 3 purple sectors, but he's only on P25. So I'm really wondering what happened, because he drove 6 laps and he didn't get the time to improve himself.
That is interesting. Something to find out later, perhaps.
Yeah,
For us, I'm not
exactly.
sure exactly what it goes on. Qualifying looks like it's going to finish. These look like the places that will end up having it.
I see that. If you look at the top of the standings, that the only ones that are in the 130s are Jordi Clara and David P. Perez. So hopefully Jordi Clara will have a good race this time.
He absolutely needs one, yeah. He needs one to get himself back in championship contention.
Exactly. As we see, qualifying is over.
Qualifying is over. Let's head over quickly to one of the racers today, Martin de Jong. Martin, how are you finding the track so far?
Hi David. Yeah, the track itself is fine. The Merc around here is very hard to drive.
Really? Yes.
I mean, I think you saw my spin. I was in the picture at that moment, and that was just a simple drive mistake, just going into the corner a little bit too deep and a little bit too hard on the brakes. But the car still can have decent speed. Only 131s is a little bit too much for me.
Well, I'm sure that you'll make sure you don't make that mistake again when we get into the actual first race, which is just coming up shortly.
Well, let's see if I can have a booming start as usual again. So I'll do my best.
Well, best of luck to you, my friend. Let's have a quick look over at the standings. David P. Perez is going to start in pole position. Jordi Clara just behind him, looking for a great start himself. Raul Diago third, Victor Lobato fourth. In fifth and sixth is Adam Pintes and Juan Iglesias, who came second on the practice race yesterday. Stephen Bird jumps himself up to seventh, and Winston Eckel eighth. Monster Gandia will take ninth place. Daniel Herrera will take 10th. Greg LeMans and Denis Grabowski, who really has a lot of work to do if he wants to get himself an improved place, takes himself into 12th. Pedro Oliveira 13th. Yannick van der Zande is 14th. Martin Hobson and Gerard Tadeni Sayers is in 16th. Tom Voss in the Lamborghini. Love Tom Voss. He's in 17th. He's got some work to do. Perry Pijnacken takes up 18th. And Remco Barlow and Gregorio Perez Sesma, 19th and 20th. Ivan Spitz, 21st, Rubens Lorente, 22nd, Antonio Salada, 23rd, and Antonio Jesus Villaon is 24th. A few more places now as we get to the lower stages of the positioning. We'll have Raul Martinez Trevino with the 25th, Fabian Tobin 26th, and Milo Spielman 27th. The rest you can see on the side, but the race is kicking off. Let's see if you can get off to a hot start.
Oh, very good start from Remco Barlow, I guess. No, it's from Victor Lobato. Wow. He's already in P1. What a massive start. Already gained 3 places. As we see that this tight corner, the Senna S's going side by side. Jordi Clara and Dave P. Perez. But Dave P. Perez is losing the place also to Raul Diago. As we see a lot of slipstream in the background. And very close. Everyone together. Everyone looking for the gap to overtake again. It seems like that everyone has went pretty well into the first Senna S.
Victor Lobato, however, very, very impressive. Gets himself up to first place. Takes, 4-5 spots there by himself just in the start, showing just how important the start was. We were talking about it just before the race began, and Victor Lobato was clearly listening as he takes up a bunch of spots. And now Jordi Clara, Raul Diago, David Perez, and Adam Pintes are chasing out of absolutely nowhere. Dave P. Perez, I'm sure he's not very happy with his start. He's got a lot of work to do.
Wow, very close racing over here. Here we have Sam van Koevoort and X-SiM Investcar right beside.
A lot of places to talk about. We're talking about Sam Van.
There we see Martin de Jong with his red wheels.
A very brave racer is Sam Van. He's someone who will take a corner even though there is another driver very close by. A lot of bravery in him. Yeah. Going over to Martin de Jong, he was talking just about how a fast start he needed, and he's gotten that fast start as he's up 2 places already.
Oh, very close racing over here as we see the brass car of Ivo van der Linde on the inside. Now you don't see them anymore because there's a Porsche driving in front of this, but we're going 4 wide. Oh no, hopefully it's going well. No!
Oh
Martin de Jong
no!
is getting
Martin
knocked
de
off.
Jong comes off the track. Bit of contact there, and he takes off on a Senna S, the first part of that track. That's really unfortunate for him. Seemed like he just got nudged off there.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very unfortunate to see, but luckily it didn't end up in a massive crash, so you can still gain some places, of course. As we see the PRT car going on the inside of Sam van Koevoort in front. a lot going on again. Wow.
There is very little separating a lot of these guys, as you can see on the left there. There's I don't think there's a single second separating anyone. Maybe two people have a second separating them. Everyone else less than a second. That is very crazy for this many drivers on the track.
Yeah, as we see here, the PRL car going out on the outside. Can he stick it? No, he can't. But still close behind. And he's going for the inside. Wow, what a late dive. But he's taking out the brass car, the Audi. No. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
A little too late. And
that's Perry Pineacken, who is coming off. He just has to take his car off the track. I wonder if he's had some damage to his car.
What happened? But of course here.
Let's see.
Gregorio
Perez there. And another little one as he tries to get himself back on. Oh, these cars all dumping. Spatial awareness, super important on this track here at Interlagos. I mean, if you can't see everyone around you, then a collision is almost certain.
As we see Jordi Garcia going wide. That is the replay. What happened?
Let's have a look at what happened to Perry Pineacken.
The black line trailer car. And you have a massive crash. Ooh. Tom was in front, having going for the late dive.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
The black
Gets
line
himself a bit of a love tap as he gets out of that crash, and another crash awaits him. The Lamborghinis turning on each other.
I think it's over for Perry Pineacken.
Very unfortunate.
Watch the fourth car. That's Victor Lobato in the Discovery World car. Wow, what a massive start he had. Going from P4 to P1.
Very curious what happened with Jordi Clara. It feels like he just was a little too slow, just slow on his start there. I don't know what happened to but he just felt like he really opened that spot up for Victor Lobato.
Yeah, very weird to see, of course.
Almost like Jordi Clara wasn't ready. Yeah, very unfortunate. Perry Pineacken has to sit himself into the pits. If you were not aware, the second race of today does require a mandatory pit stop, as the drivers do not start with enough fuel to complete a 40-minute race. So that'll be something to look for later on in this race, is when these drivers take their pit stops. Obviously a pit stop not necessary for this race, but some of the drivers are going to have to take them if they sustain damage to their cars.
What happened to Bart Dolphin in the Platinum Racing League car? Oh, he loses it. Oh, that's very unfortunate.
Oh my
Bart
goodness.
Dolphin.
Unfortunate. I think he just lost it on the big swinging corner. That's turn 15, I believe. A big swinging corner as you come back round before you finish your lap, and it's very much one where if your entry isn't perfect, you can fly off the side.
Sadly, as you see here, the IXM in that car. Did that happen?
Antonio Jesus Villon
uses
uses as much of this track as he absolutely can and gets taken by Antonio Jesus Villon. Very impressive for him there. Remco Barlow chasing down Villon now. Villon is a bit of a villain for Remco Barlow, a villain he would like to vanquish and overtake. Raul Martinez Trevino and Rubens Lorente look like they have a bit of a collision, which costs both of them about 3 places each. Very unfortunate for them. Milos Spielman overtakes. Milos Spielman now in 23rd.
So close.
Rubens Lorente trying to take that place back. Dennis Grabowski overtakes Yannick van der Zande. And Steven Bird, has he had an issue? Yeah, he looks like he just took his car really wide, and he was punished for it.
A lot of mistakes happening right now. Here we have Steven Bird in the pole.
Whoa! Steven Bird, that was a bit wider than I thought it was. I thought he just came a bit wide and got overtaken. He went very wide. Off the track completely there.
Oh, also Tom was in the Lamborghini in the IXM Invest car, also spun.
Tom, no.
Tom, the guy that can hold up other guys so good.
Yeah, we love talking about Tom Voss. I feel like we curse him. We talk about how good he is, and then something always goes wrong. He was so good in the practice race yesterday.
I think he wanted to show how good he can drift, but unfortunately it didn't work out. We had the only gear car right behind the Discover the World car.
Jordi Clara chasing down Victor Lobato. Not much separating the two of them, though the movement is a lot different to the movement the further down the track you go, as we see Martin de Jong. He's looking for the overtake on Aaron Hobson. Takes it, but gets taken back. And will Aaron Hobson keep it as they go around the corner? Oh, no! Collision of both men! Oh, everyone else trying to have to avoid him now, Stephen Bird.
Oh, luckily they avoided him. But very, very good from Aaron Hobson to keep the foot on the pedal, brake pedal, and don't cause any more collisions.
That was very fortunate.
The Caribbean specific car. Wow, it's great to see that there are a lot of sponsors on track right now. Wow.
Sorry about that, I just got something stuck in my throat. I'm okay. I'm as okay as Aaron Hobson is after everyone missed him. So, very fortunate there. A lot of fantastic sponsors, in case you aren't aware, each and every one of these. Absolutely fantastic sponsors. If you want to learn more about them, you can head over to xsimracing.com or follow us on Twitter at xsimracing. We have plenty of social media. Please get involved with our community. It would mean a lot to us.
Yes, exactly. We're very close fighting for P1, but in the end, in the back, we have also some good battles. Even speeds. We have here hunting for that next spot, of course.
I absolutely love this track, Interlagos. There is so much room for chaos. This track is so difficult to drive on. There are so many tight turns, so many curving turns. And Ivan Spitz keeps his position from Remco. Oh no, just behind Remco Ball, takes his position from Fabian Tobin, sorry. Milos Spielman takes over Lubin Lorente, and a mistake there, but Ivan Spitz able to course correct.
Oh, that Couvrite car is looking very good. But that's not what Ivan Spitz wants to see in his mirrors. So close. As we see here, the Spades token car right in front. Oh, we are heading to the replay. As you see, they've kept the car on the inside of the Spades token car. Is there some contact over here? Or is it just a good defending move?
Oh, it's a good take.
Very close.
Lorente does very well. No contact, really great to see that. Just really good driving, really good defensive driving from Lubin Lorente.
It's very, very good to see.
As both men now went round and looking to finish. Round turn 15 there, looking to finish their lap strongly. Let's see if anything else happens in this replay. Looking for the overtake going into center S. You need to start wide there to go into such a tight turn, right?
Yeah, there are multiple lines you can take. In the background we see a crash. I don't know what happened there. This is live again. But there are a lot of lines that you can take in that corner, as we see that they are going side by side. As Martinez.
Trevino, unfortunate for him there. We were talking about how many pinks he had, but I doubt he'll get one on this sector.
No, it's very unfortunate, of course.
Oh, this seems to be the race. This seems to be the battle of the race at the moment, as Rubens Lorente and Milos Spielman are battling it out. Around 11 minutes in, 9 minutes left of the race.
But I'm more curious about it R8, what he's going to do behind it, because he's in the slipstream right now. It looks like he's going on the right. 3 wide into that corner. It's possible, but you'd have to take care of each other. Otherwise, it's a no-go. But R8 is going out. As we see, you see what I meant? The Dave Captain car is going on the outside of turn 1 and has a battle line into turn 2. Wow, yes. Very, very great driving. But now Milos Spielman is also hunted by Ivo van der Linde. Great surname he has. Wow.
Milos Spielman wants to give Ivo van der Linde absolutely nothing at all. Really interesting. Yeah, yesterday, if you see 3 drivers going into a corner, more often than not, one of them is leaving the track. It's very uncommon that all 3 of them can share the space.
Wow, but that's why they are here, because they are driving so good. Did I also mention that Antonio Jesus Villalon has gained 9 places this race? Wow.
9 places? Wow, that is very impressive from him.
And he's also on the tail of Mungso Gandia in the Apostle Entertainment car. So, wow,
Very little separating the two of those as we see Jordi Clara looking. Is he going to try and take Victor Lobato as we come into Center S? All three men, Victor Lobato, Jordi Clara, Dave P. Perez, all three want the 100 points you get from winning this race. When you're this close, it's not about tactical driving, it's about winning the race. And it doesn't look like there was an overtake, but very, very close between those three men.
Oh, so there are a lot of battles going on, but in Center S it was very close between every drivers.
Center S is an absolutely devastating corner. It may be one of the most difficult first turns you can find in racing.
Yeah. As we see here, Stephen Bird. What happened? Just a good overtake on the inside. With a little bit of contact with the Ocean Lightning car.
Doesn't get the contact back. Does he keep the corner? He does. Very well played from Stephen Bird.
Also getting hunted now. Tigo Brinks also getting hunted right now by Martin Austin in the Dave Capital car. And in the background, the Dave Capital 2 car from Antonio Jesus Villalon has won another place. We gained 10 places this race. Wow.
Absolutely fantastic driving from him. Are some drivers just better on the track? During qualifying, they kind of lose it a bit, but when they're actually in the heat of the moment, they can gain places, they can drive a bit faster than they can otherwise.
Going for Luke.
That's a question for later, as Jordi Clara doesn't want to answer that. He wants to do some driving.
But I think David P. Perez has a good exit right now in P3. In, of course, the Frank Water car. No, I'm wrong. In the... I can't see it right now. Yeah, X-SiM Invest car. Going side by side now with Jordi Clara. Ooh, can he go for the P2? I think Jordi Clara, very, very far on the outside in the only gear car, but has a really good exit. Of course, they're off track. Now on the inside.
Clara keeps his position against David P. Perez as they go in. Finish that turn now, and there is a section of very, very difficult turns. A lot of tight turn after tight turn, and that is what they are in at the moment. So quite an interesting section. Is it possible to overtake in this section, or is it one where you really just want to keep your car on the track?
It is possible, but you don't want to lose a lot of time, of course. If there's no one close behind you, you can try to overtake on the guy in front of you. Otherwise, you will lose too much time. I think it's the best on this track to stay on the stay behind and only overtake on the straight.
Yeah, you're looking to overtake turns 14, 15 going into Center S, right? That's when you're really looking for the overtake, yeah.
Yeah, you want to have a very good exit over here.
Only 5 minutes left of this race, and every spot matters. Every spot means you get better points. Martin de Jong overtakes Tony van der Linden, good from him, and he's just trying to chase Tygo Brink now.
Tristan Klopp in the Dave Capital car. Unfortunately, he spun. I don't think there was contact.
And he's driving the wrong way, obviously. I'm sure he knows that, but never good to see.
I think his navigation system said wrong way.
Oh, 3 contacts from Tristan Klopp there. Unfortunately, if you go into the pits, you see Tom Voss, who has yet to leave them. I think this race is a lost cause for Tom Voss, unfortunately for him.
Wow. And this is what I meant. Jordi Clara went for the position with Victor Lobato in front, but he didn't make it. So now he has had a lot of pressure from behind from David P. Perez, who's also a very, very good driver with the X-SiM Invest car. Only gear versus X-SiM Invest. Really curious he's going to win. But of course, David P. Perez has now a lot of slipstream. Winston Eckel also behind Grabowski.
I think David P. Perez will be pretty happy. If this race stays exactly the same, I don't think David P. Perez will be too upset. Only 3 minutes left, and David P. Perez is at the top of the standings, of the championship standings. At this very moment. Never mind, he's not happy anymore. Oh dear.
Oh,
that is cast a curse if I've ever seen it. I'm very sorry, David P. Perez. I was just talking about how you want the race to stay the same, and you lose, what, 15 places?
Yeah, he's losing a lot. He's now on P18, so he won't be in charge of that reverse grid pole. Or P3 or something. What happened? Really curious what happened. Oh, but look! Oh, his rear wing clipped with the rear wing of Jordi Clara, but if I saw it correctly, he's turning in too early. But
yeah, he did seem to turn a little too early. Jordi Clara really came out of that okay. There was really no issue from Jordi Clara's side.
Jordi Clara is... Oh, this is very unfortunate. Yeah,
Not the kind of thing you see often, but David P. Perez, 18th. I was just talking about how I think he'd be happy with the race staying the same. And now I don't think so anymore, in case you're curious. I don't think he's happy with the race anymore.
Martin de Jong right behind the Marketing Pro Solution car.
Yeah, chasing down Tygo Brink. Very interesting. Can he get that place?
Martin de Jong has had some contact in the beginning of the race, but he now gained 11 places. So
very impressive from him.
He's just doing it in the background. We don't see it, and he's suddenly 11 places in front. Very good of him.
And speaking of 11 places, Antonio Jesus Villayon has also taken himself 11 places. So 2 drivers to look out for, and fantastic races from both men.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we were talking to Martin de Jong during the break, and we asked him if he was going to improve on the mistake we saw him make in qualifying. Seems like he has done.
Yeah, very good of him. As we see, the only gear car with the top car behind him.
Adam Pice is now chasing down Juan Iglesias. Both men take that right very nicely. That left, sorry. Adam Pice. Now they're taking a right, and Adam Pice is just trying to keep on the tail of Juan Iglesias, just trying to make sure that he doesn't let him go as we move into very little time remaining, only 20 seconds. Unless there is a huge change, I doubt that any of these places will change, which means it looks like Victor Lobato will get himself a victory. And on the other side of things, looks like David Perez has a lot of work to do in race number 2.
Maybe we should call him Victory Lobato.
Whee! So good to have you back, Justin. See what we were missing without you.
Sorry for that bad joke.
No, I loved it.
As we see, David Perez right behind the Kuvarit car.
Can he take a place?
Getting caught up now with Kuvarit car. What can he do? Can David Perez go on the outside? Oh, lunges it back on the inside. Now on the inside.
He made the mistake.
Wow.
Gonna gain him a few more points, right? Yeah, just a little bit more points. Good, very impressive from him though. Very impressive overtake from David P. Perez.
Of course, a very good driver.
Yeah, so maybe his position doesn't show it off as much as... I mean, every driver here is very good, right? It's a battle between a bunch of very good drivers. But
that's exactly what I wanted to say. But hey, see it as a positive. He has a 1 in his finish number, so maybe there's a 7 behind it. It's a 1, and he's right.
It's a 1.
Him. But he didn't won. Oh, sorry.
He's all over it with the jokes today. He's absolutely on fire. Victor Lobato looks like he's going to take race number 1. Victory Lobato, I'm very sorry.
Lobato, very good. Indeed.
Yeah, here we go. And 100 points goes to Victor Lobato. Very impressive for him. He took first place immediately and decided to never give it up. Jordi Clara takes second, Raul Diago third, and Juan Iglesias fourth. Raul Diago and Juan Iglesias, they don't like not being next to each other. They were next to each other in practice races. They've been next to each other in race 1. Clearly they like doing this track together.
Yeah, they have no choice. So, yeah. Oh, a little bit of bumping there between David P. Perez and the Kuvarit car.
David P. Perez takes Fabian Tobin's spot at the last possible second there. Well,
the only positive thing is that, of course, Raul Diago, Jordi Clara, and Victor Lobato will start 10th, 9th, and 8th. He is now on P16, and with a bit of luck, with an early stop, he can still fight for the win, of course.
We'll start in 14th place, correct?
Will he start 14th place? I think he will start 16th place, as I see from the live timings right now.
AP Perez will start 16th.
Yeah.
Ah, well, never mind.
Very fast driver, and I'm 100% sure he can improve a lot.
Yes, absolutely. Let's have a look at the Heat 1 results. Victor Lobardo, as I said, gets himself 100 points. Jordi Clara 80 and Raldiago 70. Super important for Jordi Clara. We were talking about him needing to improve and jump himself up the leaderboard. And he has done that. Raldiago gets himself some more points. Probably could easily get himself in the first place at the end of race 1. I believe he will be championship standing leader.
Wow.
As David P. Perez was only good enough to get himself 28 points. 2 more points he'd have gotten if he hadn't knocked over Fabian Tobin, though. Unfortunately, further down, Tom Voss unable to extend on his 2 points that he has in this season, as he doesn't get himself any, as we saw the problems that he ended up having in that race. But very congratulations to Victor Lobardo. And let me just ask Martin de Jong very quickly about that race. Very impressive from you. 11 places gained.
Yep, sorry. Yeah, it was a decent race. Unlucky a couple of hits, so maybe could have been up there a little bit more. But yeah, the speed was decent. But after the tap with Aaron, yeah, I did feel it at the straights, just missing out that little bit of top end speed. But it was a decent race. I had good fights, so I'm looking forward to the feature race.
What do you think you're going to take into race number 2 that you kind of learned from race number 1?
Not crash, that's one. And I think I'll go for an early pit stop, but I haven't decided yet. Depends on how the start goes. Race 1 was a very bad start this time, so hopefully I'll do better.
Unfortunate. Well, I hope it's very good advice. Not crashing is fantastic advice. I think anyone can hear that and take something from it. So yeah, have a good 3 minutes of warm up, and we'll see you in race 2.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, he's saying he's going for the early stop, but maybe he wants to say that to other drivers that are also listening to the stream, so that the pit lane is going to be a mess, and then he will make a late stop.
Ah, genius!
Hey.
Yeah, he's playing 4D chess with my interviews.
Exactly.
Well, that's very interesting. As they warm up, I'm going to give myself just a 1 minute break. If you would like to tell the lovely people about Interlagos.
Yeah, Interlagos is a very nice track in Brazil. Of course, has a lot of history with Formula 1 and other stuff like that. It's based in Sao Paulo, a very crowded city. If you compare it to other tracks, it's just in the middle of a city. So that's very nice to see. Yeah. That's all I can say about Sao Paulo. It's not that more. I like it personally a lot. A very, very good, smooth track. It looks easy to do, but it's harder than you think.
Absolutely. If you would like to take a 1 minute break, I can tell the lovely people about some stuff. But if you don't have to, if you don't want to, yeah,
that will be very nice.
No problem at all. Yeah, let's talk about that first race for a little bit. Very, very exciting and very, very interesting. Victor Lobardo, very impressive from him. He took the lead early and he never let it up, which is exactly when you talk about it. And it is one of those interesting things about qualifying you don't always talk about, which is these positions can change, and an important start in the first race can be just as important as a good qualifying time. So you really need to get a mix of both. You need to make sure that you're always focused, which is such a difficult thing for these drivers. Always focused, making sure you never make any errors at all. Martin de Jong just going for a practice on his warm-up now, looking to take over any of those small mistakes in the Mercedes. Lovely car, red tyres. He's looking absolutely fabulous as he flies down the track. Only about 30 seconds left to warm up before we get into the main event, which is the 40-minute race with the reverse standings. So Victor Lobardo, in case you were not aware, he will be in 10th place starting position for race number 2. So super interesting from him there, and a lot of game to be grounded. I'm not speaking words. Maybe my break wasn't long enough. And no matter what it was, I'm still and I'm still excited. And I'm still ready to bring you a second race, which I'm very excited for. I'm sure it'll be just as exciting as that first race, which had so much action in it. You could write a whole book about that first race and all the excitement that was in it.
Yeah.
As we get started. Sorry, welcome back.
If you had a summary of all races, you would have the largest book on earth.
Of 100%, the Bible of races.
Exactly.
Pedro Oliveira is going to start in pole position. Danny Herrera is going to start second. Yannick van der Zande third. Winston Eckel fourth. Dennis Grabowski needs to gain himself some points. He takes 5th place. Adam Pinty 6th. Juan Iglesias 7th. Raul Diago 8th. Jordi Clara 9th. And Victor Lobardo, the winner of race number 1, going to start in 10th place.
Curious to see if there are drivers going to the left. If you know what I mean. The pit exit is of course the pit entry is of course on the left hand side, so some drivers can go into the pit, but hopefully they won't do it.
Maybe a little too early. We were talking about early pit stops, but maybe that's a bit too early.
Yeah, I think it's a way too early. As the lights are on now, who's going to have the best start? Ooh, again, in the background you see a BMW. I don't know which BMW it is, but I see Dennis Grabowski has already gained 2 places.
Danny Herrera, 1st place. David P. Perez gains 3. Victor Lobardo gains 1, taken back by Jordi Clara. Jordi Clara and Victor Lobardo not giving themselves anything at all. Dennis Grabowski, we were talking about how good his start was, but that turn was wide, very wide from Dennis Grabowski, and he's 4 places behind where he started. So a great start and then a terrible first corner from Dennis Grabowski.
As we see, Dave P. Perez already on P12. So very, very good job of him. As we see that Juan Iglesias has gained 1 point, 1 place, and already got overtaken by Raul Diago. I mean, everything is going on right now. As
we can't keep up with it.
As we are going to the tight section right now. It's good to take it easy on this part, because you don't want to be in a messy place.
Last thing you want this early is a crash. Tom Voss takes a couple places, Perry Pinakin all the way down in 36th. Juan Iglesias gives himself a couple places. Stephen Bird has jumped up 4 places. Very impressive from him.
As you see, over here, Moto Gandia in the AEM car, right behind the SRP car of Greg LeMond.
I was talking to Tom Voss yesterday, and he told me about a very aggressive driver. That driver, I believe, was Moto Gandia. So let's see how aggressive he is today.
As long as it's fair, aggressive driving is okay. As we see, Remco.
Love aggressive driving.
Everyone is going for the early stop, of course.
Yes, a few people. Remco Barlow, Rubens Lorente, Aaron Hobson, and Tristan Klopp are going into the pits.
Martin said he was going for the early stop, but I see that some drivers have watched the stream.
clearly they want an even earlier stop.
No.
I'll show you. I raise you an early stop.
As you see that, Tom Voss also has made a very early stop, and this is his signature move to go stop early and keep up the others, of course.
I'm glad he stopped early. I saw how far behind he was and went, oh no, that's a bad start. But I'm glad he's pitted. So that's quite impressive for him in there.
As we see, everyone is very close. David P. Perez is already in P11. Gained 5
really
places.
Great start from him. Fantastic start from David P. Perez. And he is chasing down Dennis Grabowski. Both those men are still looking to top the championship standings, but they're going to have to get past each other to do it. Fabian Tobin, I believe that's a crash between Fabian Tobin and Ivan Spitz. Either that or they've gone... No, it is. They came off turn 14, that is, I'm pretty sure. Turn 14, looks like Fabian Tobin and Ivan Spitz had a collision there. Oh, dearie me. I'm not sure if they both span off or if they did have a collision. All I saw there.
Both spun off. From what I...
Just an in-sync spin-off there.
Yeah. I think my...
Nope, there's a collision.
I think my theory is wrong. Unfortunately,
Yes.
the Kubrick car is taken out.
Yes, unfortunately, that was a collision as both men try and turn, unable to do so.
Dave Perez was in P10, but now he's in P11 again, right behind Dennis Grabowski.
And David P. Perez, he wants to gain up those positions, but the three men ahead of him are Dennis Grabowski, Juan Iglesias, and Jordi Clara. And ahead of it is Victor Lobardo. That is a tough 5 to get past. That's a tough 4, tough 5 to get past.
I think an early stop can be positive, but of course with the long straight you don't want to have a lot of fuel on board. Ooh, oh, that was
That's just fantastic driving.
Very close racing with the Courier car.
Dennis Grabowski has absolutely no interest in space. As long as there's any space at all, Dennis Grabowski's like, I'm gonna have that. Actually, I think I'll take that space from you. Cheers. Because I think David P. Perez thought he was safe on the inside line. He was like, no, I mean, I'm on the inside here, so I'm not going to get overtaken. And then Dennis Grabowski showed him what an inside line really was.
As we see, Jordi Clara is having the fastest lap time right now, so he's really hunting on Victor Lobardo in the Discover the World car.
Great lap time, Jordi Clara. As we were talking about earlier, the breaking into the 130 is what is lightning. If you can get a 130 time, that is top level. And I believe Jordi Clara is the first person in this race to get a 130 time. So shows how impressive his racing has been so far.
Yeah, the qualifying time was a 130.8. So he's pushing really hard. Of course, we need to keep in mind that he has a lot of slipstream from the guy in front, but still an impressive lap time. No one is close to that lap time. As you see, Wes Michael in the Marketing Pro Solution car in P3. Very good stuff. Martin de Jong going for the gap.
He's looking to defend from Gregorio Perez. Did he take Gregorio Perez?
Yeah,
he did, didn't he? Yes.
He did, yes.
Very good to see from Martin de Jong. Takes that position and then able to keep it, which is when the overtake happens, you're always in danger of being overtaken again yourself. So very good that he managed to keep it and then defend it.
A lot of racing lines are available on this track. As you see that Martin de Jong is getting hunted. Oh, that was
Pedro Oliveira. He was in second place. Obviously started this race in pole position, did Pedro Oliveira. Not going to finish in pole position, I doubt it.
I think he lost
himself. Dear. Oh, yes, he does. And then, he's not able to keep it. A little nudge.
Oh, that's
Pedro Oliveira.
Because maybe he could keep it on track, but unfortunately...
yeah. He looked like he was going to recover there.
Oh, this is very close.
The Brazilian Pedro Oliveira in Brazil has a crash like that. I believe he's the only Brazilian on the track, so unfortunate to see the hometown hero have an issue like that. This track is super different to tracks that we've seen the past two race days, both British tracks where there was very little room to overtake. It's both quite narrow tracks. There's quite a wide track.
Yeah, but the rest of it is very unforgiving. The curb, most of the curbs directly will head out into the grass, and that will make you lose grip, of course. As you see a large slipstream train over here. Who is going to be the fastest one? Victor Lobardo, right behind the Futura Plan car of Yannick van der Zande. Is he going for the dive? Oh, but Yannick van der Zande also wants to go for the overtake. Victor Lobardo now right on the tail of the Futura Plan car. But a good exit We can have him. Winston Eckel going for the
Just-
stop, but we see Antonio Solera here going for the inside in the Mercedes. Ooh. Wow. Very close racing. Oh, Sam van Koevoorden almost loses it on the curb. And we have Kevin de Vries
Kevin
over
de
here.
De Vries.
Yeah, in Dutch it is de Vries.
De Vries.
De Vries.
De Vries.
But we can de Vries if you want.
Well, I mean, you're Victory Lombardo. Let's just say it was a nickname. Kevin de Vries. Now that chasing on the back of Tom Voss, about a second behind him though, so Tom Voss has a little bit of breathing room between Winston Eckel and Kevin de Vries. Bit of distance there for him to just really open up.
Oh, Martin Jong. Oh, no, no, no. A little bit of
Martin Jong!
Please, 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 no.
Keep it!
Oh.
He does keep it, but unfortunately Gregorio Perez does not.
Oh.
Gregorio Perez is though Martin de Jong, desperate to follow his own advice of do not crash, almost did not there, almost crashed. But he was able to keep it. Yeah, just a bit of very unfortunate there. I don't think that anything unfortunate happened there. I think that was just he was able to recover, and unfortunately that cost Gregorio Perez. Dennis Grabowski has pitted.
Yes, Victor Lombardo is now right beside the other car. Wow. Oh no. Very, very good move. Goes a little bit wide. What can a Futuro Plank car do? Can he go on the outside or on the inside? What will he do? As we see, Jordi Clara behind Adam Pinches. If you pronounce it in the way like that.
I've been pronouncing it Pinces, but
Pinces.
I'm not sure if it's Pinches or Pinces. Let's go with Pinches maybe. You got the last one right, so let's put you as the expert for now.
I'm the name expert.
Yes.
The only gear car right behind Pinches. And right behind. Oh, wow! Right behind him is David P. Perez.
David P. Perez has gained a lot of positions. Obviously, we're talking about Grabowski has pitted, so David P. Perez was able to get past him no problem. And now he's got Jordi Clara to deal with. So he's made up how many places now? 15, 16? Not 15 places, but from 16.
Yeah, David P. Perez has gained 9 places. The best guy on the track right now is the number 17, Sam van Koevoorden, has gained 15 places. Also, Tom Vos has gained 15 places. So, very good. As we see, Jordi Clara now right behind Pinches.
Pinches really looking to get taken here. Jordi Clara going very aggressive, trying to bully Pinches off the track, but he was able to keep it up. Yeah, when you're pressing like that, you really just want them to go a bit further left and just completely leave the track so you can overtake them. It's kind of like trying to crowd them out off the track, right?
Oh, David Perez. Oh no, he went wide. What happened? Oh, this is not the weekend for him that he wanted. As we see, Gregor LeMans right now hunting also. What happened?
David P. Perez looks like he was able to recover, only lost 1 place, lost out to Juan Iglesias. So not too big an issue there for David P. Perez, but it will obviously affect his comeback performance.
Wow. At the moment there are a lot of drivers. That's no problem.
That's unfortunate indeed. Unfortunate for David P. Perez and unfortunate for us. Raul Diago is chasing down Danny Herrera, who really wants his first big performance of the season. Obviously, he had a fantastic last season, and this season he's trying to get his first massive performance.
As Antonio Solera.
Oh. Not great from there. A lot of drivers have been going wide this race day.
Yeah, it's a very unforgiving track. You want to have the best exit as possible, but sometimes you go a bit too wide, like Antonio Solera in the UB car. Now going
very unforgiving.
straight away. as we head back to Victor Lobato. I wanted to say Victory Lobato again, sorry. It's just in my
Not
head.
yet, he's not. Give him 2 more places.
It's in my head all the time. As you see Stephen Bird over here.
Looking to chase down Tom Voss, Stephen Bird representing the UK and Ireland, trying to chase down Tom Voss. Tom Voss, no!
Tom!
No!
At least he is in pit box 1. Good. Oh no.
What happens to Tom Voss here?
Oh no, I think he had some contact.
Collision,
Oh, this is
there's the
very-
contact, spins him
very,
out.
Very unfortunate because Tom Voss gained 15 places. Oh,
Just as
and,
quickly.
and Tom Voss already pitted, so that meant he would have gained a lot of more places. Wow.
Deary me, not Tom Voss's race day and not David Perez's. Both these men have had some very unfortunate starts.
Dave P. Perez. Oh no, sorry, it's Remco Baller right behind Moncho Candia.
Very little separating Montegandia and Remco Bala. Remco Bala was right on the tail of Montegandia as a few more people pit, including Spielman and Sam van Koevoorden. Decent time to pit. We are about 15 minutes into a 40-minute race, so still a lot of racing left to be done, a lot of positions left to be taken. Not a bad time to pit.
Oh, exactly. I think you will have a good gap when exiting the pits. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Good time to exit the pit. Still a lot of time to get back places you may have lost. But you still, Jordi Garcia there. Bit of contact again, spun him out, trying to take that corner really narrow. He was trying to take a really narrow approach there, and did not go exactly the way he wanted it to.
Jordi Garcia. And of course the Chalbury heating car.
Yes, talking about sponsors, all of these cars have absolutely fantastic liveries, and all of them are sponsored by absolutely fantastic companies. If you want to learn more about any of them, please head over to xmracing.com and you'll find out a lot more, and head over to some of our socials and to interact with stuff.
Battlefield Yuan. I already saw it in the background. Victor Lobato going for the late move on Rahul Diago, and now he's right behind Daniel Herrera in his Southern project manager car. Can he go for it? Because the BMW has the best top speed over here. He's closing in, but will be enough. Of course, Daniel Herrera going for the defensive move, but can he have a better exit right now? No, right, still right behind on
like
still. But of course,
Danny Herrera.
Raul Diago is also very close behind as Victor Lobato goes a little bit wide, but that is not a really big problem.
All three of these men. Victor Lobato chasing down Danny Herrera, wants to win 2 races out of 2, but he needs to be careful. If he gets too aggressive and makes a mistake, Raul Diago is right on his tail and not too far behind is Yannick van der Zande. Very impressive race from him so far, really coming out of nowhere. David P. Perez looking to take down Adam Panchis, but quite a bit of distance still to be made up between the two of them. We need to make sure that David P. Perez is not involved in another problem. He's had a lot of problems so far, so he is dicing with death here.
Very close behind. Adam Pinches right now. Can he get him?
One mistake is all that it takes for Adam Pinches, and it looks like David P. Perez will get him on the inside.
But
Just about who has the faster car.
If Pinches is going for the late move on the outside.
Yes. David P. Perez, you could see that he was gaining the speed. He had the slipstream, and on the straight, just able to power past him.
Don't forget, Pinches can get him back in the slipstream right now, as we see in the background. But in front, we have a more interesting battle. We have Victor Lobato battling against Daniel Herrera. It seems like David P. Perez is keeping up.
Victor Lobato.
Oh, now we have them both side by side. Victor Lobato going for the outside on the Southern project management car. Oh, very close, but he has
Victor Lobato takes first place from Daniel Herrera. Daniel Herrera tried his best to defend it, but Victor Lobato just had so much power in his car and was just able to power past Daniel Herrera Very, very impressive from Victor Lobato, who now has pole position. He now has the lead.
Wow, battles are everywhere. Where, as a spectator, you can see that cars are very close to each other by the orange time delta in the leaderboard. Yellow is when you are under a second behind someone, and the orange one is when you are less than half a second behind someone. So
Yes,
keep an eye on that.
Only have a minute to breathe with all these battles going on. Something to point out, maybe something that will come up later. Denis Grabowski has pitted, and he is in 13th place.
Ooh, I see. And he is the with the pit stop, he's the first one. If you know what I mean.
I do know what I mean. Martin Hobson, look at how many places he's gained. 17 places, Martin Hobson. Wow.
Of course, Martin Hobson didn't pit yet, but still 17 places. Wow. Amazing.
Great start from him.
But as we see P1, 2, P5 very close, as we see Denis Grabowski right behind Fabian Tobin in the Kuwait car.
I love watching Denis Grabowski race. He is very, very exciting. He is excitement in a bottle. Looking to overtake Fabian Tobin, easy as you like. He made it look simple.
As we see the Kuwait car and getting hunted by the Marketing Pro Solution car 2.
Fabian Tobin doesn't want to lose 2 places.
Oh, he's going a little bit wide. Oh, this is going to be very close. Can the Martin... Oh, yes, he's going for it. But now he's on the outside. Can he stick to it on the outside? No, a little bit of contact over there. That's not what you want, of course. But can the Marketing Pro Solution car have a better exit right now?
You know who this is great for? This is really good for Denis Grabowski, who was able to get ahead of Fabian Tobin and then leave him to deal with Winston Eckel. Both men really had to play defensive there. Fabian Tobin had to turn his offense into defense to make sure he could keep Winston Eckel out of his sight. And because of that, Denis Grabowski was able to get away from both of them. Rubens Lorente. Very narrow. Looked a bit slow there, but was able to keep his inside from Perry Paniak. And
what is going on here in front? Jordi Clara going for the move on the Futuro Plant car. Now he has Raul Diago in a Dream Factory car right in front of him.
And it's the top 4 that may be quite well known to you. Victor Lobato, Danny Herrera, Raul Diago and Jordi Clara. All of these men very, very fantastic drivers. David P. Perez.
Please, no.
Oh, not another one.
Keep it on track, David. You can do it. Wow.
Yeah, you've got this.
Yeah, if he looks a little bit in front, he can see P1 still P5. And keep in mind that they all have to pit from top 11.
Great news for Denis Grabowski.
Exactly. Now, Yannick van der Zande in the Futuro Plant car right behind the Only car. And in front of that we have the Dream Factory car. Wow, very, very close. As we see Antonio Solera right beside Maarten de Jong. Both of them have won a lot of places in the last race.
Going to point out, Juan Iglesias has now gone into the pits himself. I think that was based off losing his position. He didn't want to try and make it up yet, so he decided that it was a good moment to get into the pits and get that car pitted up.
Oh, this is so close. If I was a driver of this battle, I would say I'm going to pit a lap early or something like that. That I'm out of the traffic. Of course, you will gain a lot with the slipstream, but in this battle, you will only lose time if you're faster. So hopefully, they will have the stream on in the background.
Listening to you, that's what needs to happen. More drivers need to listen to you.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sitting here and not in the car. No.
Well, don't worry. I'm sitting here, and I've never driven one of these cars in my life. So.
But you're commentating very well, so that's
thank you very much.
That's very good.
Kindness between commentators. I'm sure everyone loves to see it.
I see someone go for the right beside Ivo van der Linde. Ooh, that's a very close Mercedes in his mirrors.
Really close between Sam Van and Ivo van der Linden. Almost nothing. Them taking back Sam Van, Ivo van der Linden. Not sure which one of them is going to keep it. Looks like it will be Sam Van as we move a bit further over towards Daniel Herrera, who is being chased down by Jordi Clara. Jordi Clara really wants some of those top positions, really wants to get himself top position on the board, and looks like he can take Danny Herrera.
Wow. Roliago going side by side with Danny Herrera. Going for late braking. Very, very good. As we see, Yannick van der
Danny Herrera
Zande
was taken by Jordi Clara. Yannick van der Zande looking to take both men, unable to do so. Decides a bit more of a cautious approach, not being too aggressive on that turn there.
Yeah, exactly. You will only lose time on this part of the track, as we see a very close battle on the straight. 3 wide over there with 1 car in front. Wow. Ooh, very, very close. Please keep it clean. Wow.
Wow, I'm surprised they all managed to.
Yeah, that's why they're here.
Wasn't fortunate for Stephen Bird there, as he kind of had to pull out early. He had to brake early to make sure that he wasn't going to end up being in a collision, and that has meant that he is at the back of those 4 cars.
As we see the Alp Auto car and the smart income streaming car. Dave P. Perez going for the pit stop right now.
That's an interesting time for him to pit. I think he thinks that he's ahead of Antonio Jesus Villalon enough. He's gained enough places, 7 places from him, and he should be able to make up on the people who haven't pitted yet. Good choice from Dave P. Perez.
I think it can be a very good bond because he was battling with Gregor LeMond all the time, so he is only losing time in that part.
Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense to me. But Denis Grabowski obviously gained quite a lot of time. A 1:31.7, not a great time from him if he wants to mate some positions.
Well, I see now that David P. Perez is, wow, is and still in front of Juan Iglesias and Denis Grabowski. So a very good job of him. And still it's very crowded over here between Martin Hobson and the rest of him. Now overtaking the Speedstone car, but there's someone in the grass, and it's Aaron Hobson. If I understood it right, that is his brother, right?
Yes, I believe so. I believe Martin Hobson and Aaron Hobson.
So, yeah. It's always good to overtake your brother.
I wouldn't know, but I can imagine.
I can imagine to overtake your sibling.
Well, I mean, hey, I would feel good too. Any family member.
Any family member, it will be good to overtake, of course. Very, very nice that we have family Hobson on board. Doing a lot of doing a lot of stuff for the community. So we are really thankful for that.
26 minutes in, and it looks like it will be Victory Lobato once again. I can't get it out of my head either, but fortunately he is keeping the name true as he maintains lead position. He is 2 seconds ahead of Roliago, which is not an inconsiderable distance.
Of course, we need to keep in mind that the top 8 still has to make a pit stop. And I'm really, really curious what is going to happen in the last part of the race.
Very exciting. All men going round turn 15 there, lapping and going into Senna S, where there's a lot of takeovers. Any takeovers happening doesn't seem like it. Denis Grabowski right on Juan Iglesias' tail, and I'm sure Juan Iglesias is sick of drivers being right on his tail.
Oh, what happened over there? That's a Black Line trailer car, I believe. Yeah.
Perry Pijnakken.
Perry Pijnakken again. Very unfortunate. Not the luck that he wanted. Seems like I saw a car driving on the right.
Yeah, going into a replay and seeing a car facing the wrong way is very much how did I get up here? How did I end up here? A lot of work for him to do to maintain. Just comes out too wide, unable to keep control of his car, and he spins out.
That's Paynecken without the Aiken.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Here we
I didn't.
Sorry.
Didn't.
Diago went for the pit stop. Ooh, I believe I see Dave P. Perez right in front of him.
Yes, you do. David P. Perez has overtaken Raldiago. Not what Raldiago wants to see, as Dave P. Perez not an easy guy to get past. Raldiago's got a lot of work to do to get ahead of him. And yeah, I mean, when you want to be building up speed, the last thing you want is to try and be overtaking someone that is an absolute nightmare to get past, like David P. Perez. Only 15 minutes left in this race, and he's got 7 positions to make up.
As we see Martin de Jong now fighting with Sam van Goevorden. Sam van Goevorden goes a little bit wide. I think Martin de Jong can get him on the exit. Now on the outside, but not fast enough to keep it on the outside. Now in the slipstream. He's going for the inside. Yes, he is. Right behind.
Should be able to take this. Sam Van's going to have to drive very well if he wants Martin de Jong out of his way. Does drive very well there. Able to keep it.
Sam van Goevorden going a little bit wide. Martin de Jong still on his tail.
Martin, don't crash de Jong. That's the advice he's been giving to everyone, and it seems to have done him quite well so far in this race.
I think everyone will get a special name from us.
Yeah, it seems like it. Everyone's getting a nickname today. I don't know what you've done, but you've put me in a fun mood. I didn't think you'd be able to get anything for Paynecken. I saw Paynecken and I was like, here's a name. There's no way. But
there is.
But there is.
As we see Jordi Clara still not pitted yet. Same as Victor Labardo and Adam Pinches.
Is Jordi Clara waiting for Victor Labardo to pit first? Is that his plan, or is his plan to overtake and then pit?
I think he wants to stay behind him and pit in the same lap.
Interesting.
Maybe he can undercut or something to add less fuel.
That makes sense to me.
Pedro Oliveira.
Jesus Villon just behind Pedro Oliveira there. He came out of the pits just a little too late to have that position over him.
As we see Victor Labardo in the pit, same as Adam Pinches.
He is pitted first.
So
he is
wants to push as hard as he can.
Jordi Clara trying to get as much of a distance as he can possibly do before he pits, right? Just looks to get as many positions possible before he finally pits.
As Daniel Herrera going for the inside, and he's Southern project management car with the Virtual Plant car right behind him of Yannick van der Zande. But still, Yannick van der Zande in the slipstream. Will the straight be long enough? Not if he is not in the slipstream. As we see Milo Speelman right now in this Speedstoken car has made a mistake in the last corner. A lot of mistakes right now.
Unfortunate for him, Martin de Jong looking to overtake. Can he get it? Absolutely can. Finally gets past Sam Van. Looking at Jordi Clara just quickly, he must think everyone else has gone off the track, because if you look at him, he is taking turn 15 and there is nobody near him. Nobody even close to him. I think he might go into the pits here. Oh dear!
Sam Van Koevoorden.
De Jong doesn't crash though. Don't crash De Jong. He doesn't crash. Everyone else crashes around him, but he makes sure that he doesn't.
Very unfortunate.
Yes, as I said though, Jordi Clara has gone into the pits. He got that advantage. He got about a lap advantage, and now he's trying to get out of the pits before Victor Labardo can get passed up to him.
I think it's a little bit of netcode. What happened there? Very unfortunate.
Unfortunate there, yes. Super interesting. Can Jordi Clara get out of the pits before Victor Labardo catches him? He took as much of a leap as he could and got as much of an advantage as he could. Yeah, Sam Van was looking for the overtake there. Martin de Jong just catches him in the back of the car.
Very unfortunate. As you see, Dave P. Perez is... Where? What? Wait. Where is Victor Labardo? He's
First place.
Oh,
Victor Lobato was able to get his place back from Jordi Clara. Jordi Clara tried to get as big of an advantage as he could before he got into the pits. Pitted, but Victor Lobato was able to catch him before he got out of it.
wow. But Dave P. progressed right behind Jordi Clara.
David P. Perez, after a disappointing first race, has put the gas pedal on and is now looking to make as much as he can. Raul Diago just behind him.
Wow. Still a few minutes to go as we see the BMW and the Ferrari going for the move from a little bit of oversteer.
Perez, can he overtake Martin? Martinez, not Martin. That's not his nickname. His nickname's not Martin. We've got enough Martins. Raul Martinez. Tony Salada looking to overtake Martin Young. Another one! Oh, it's Salada!
Antonio Salada. No.
Little bit naughty that looked like, to be honest with you. Looked like a bit of contact in the back there.
What's going on and who was involved?
Yeah, not sure why he's come in there. Tried to come in and it seems like he just cuts him out there. Not sure what happened there.
Who was the other one that was involved? I'm really curious to know. The Porsche and the Dave Capital car.
Antonio Salada and Remco Barlow seems to be the one who took Antonio Salada off the track.
I don't think Remco Barlow was driving in the BMW. Still
No?
not sure, but very
Couldn't
unfortunate.
see it.
Very unfortunate for Antonio. Take a look.
Is that AEN car?
I think it was the Dave Capital Porsche.
Dave Capital.
By the looks of it, it was Tony van der Linden.
Oh dear. Yeah, a little bit naughty that from Tony van der Linden, it seemed.
As we see Jordi Clara now 1 second behind Victor Lobato. He's closing in right now.
Ooh, a lot of time being made up there by Jordi Clara. Yeah, 1:30. Great time from Jordi Clara as he catches up to Victor Lobato. David P. Perez not too far behind. Raul Diago improving on his times as he tries to catch David P. Perez.
As we see the Futura Plan car right behind the Silver Project Management car. What can Yannick van der Zanden do in that car?
Is it just joining us?
As we see the yellow time delta on P2. And Jordi Clara closing in really fast.
He is making a lot of distance. This is race day 3 of season 4. There is a lot of points still up for grabs here in Interlagos. What a great track. Gerard says, shows you just how difficult it was. It looks like Stephen Bird has absolutely nowhere to go. Has to make a collision with Gerard Says there. Couldn't break in time, and very unfortunate for both men.
Not the race weekend he wanted.
No. There have been a few.
Part of racing, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Martin de Jong getting past Tycho Brink. But
Martin de Jong has gotten himself very involved in this race so far. Martin de Jong unable to get past Kevin Lagervard. Sorry, Tycho Brink unable to get past Martin de Jong.
Or as Jordi Clara has the fastest lap time right now, 1:30.95.
Wow, very quick.
Very close.
That is 2 1:30 lap times in a row from Jordi Clara. He is desperate to catch Victor Lobato. And the real question will be, will this be a repeat of Saturday's race with a very last minute overtake? Jordi Clara does not have much time left in which to catch Victor Lobato.
It's very close. Now he's heading into slipstream terrain. So that's also a possibility to win some time. As we see Fabian Tobben in the Covid car has spun.
Are you guys ready for a fun fact?
Of course we are.
You know I am, man.
I have to be very careful with overtaking. I'm at 13x.
Okay. Yeah, take it easy, Martin, and hopefully you will make it to the finish line, of course.
People that don't know what 13x is, do you want to let them know?
Of course, I want to let them know. You have incident points in the sim racing system, and if you have a special amount of a few amount of points, you will be getting a drive-through penalty, or in this case, a disqualification from the race. And Martin de Jong is almost on the limit of that, so you don't
He's
want
to
to
keep
be...
himself very careful coming into the end of this lap. Jordi Clara's broken the lap time again.
Oh,
On 1:30.
Only a half a second behind Victor Lobato.
Jordi Clara is doing absolutely everything he can to catch Victor Lobato. 3 1 minute 30 lap times in a row. Wow.
Will it be Victory Lobato?
For the second race in a row. You gave him the nickname and it stuck like glue. And Dennis take Juan Iglesias' place.
Very close.
Please show us the leaders.
As we see the final minutes. Final minute of the race. We see Jordi Clara in the only year car. Right behind the Discover the World car.
Both men now flying round turn 12.
Oh,
Coming
no.
in! Dennis Grabowski does
But we
take
want
Juan
to see-
Iglesias' place.
We want to see what's happening in front. Because it's so close. I
It's
think
so close.
it's fun. This is the last part. And victory, Lobato.
Victor
Has
Lobato.
won the race.
Jordi Clara
Only three.
unfortunately did absolutely everything he could. David P. Perez takes third, a good second from him. A big makeup of ground from David P. Perez. Raldiago fourth. Daniel Herrera and Yannick van der Zande with a good race from him. 6th place from him.
Yes, and a very impressive comeback from David P. Perez. He gained 13 places this race. In
Very, very impressive.
the X-SiM Invest car. Very nice. Only 3 tenths between Jordi Clara and Victor Lobato.
We're now getting to Martin Hobson. Has to keep this position.
Close.
Has to. Oh,
Oh, he
just about does.
600ths of a second in front. Wow. Oh, side by side over here. Tristan Klopp and Fabian Tobin. But ooh, this is very close because Tico Brink is also in the mix. What is going to happen? Oh, 100th of a second behind Fabian Tobin. The Marketing Pro Solution car.
Perry
Just
Pijnacken,
behind.
unfortunately finishing in 31st. Pijnacken without the Acken, as he said. Sam Van finishing 32nd. Jordi Garcia 33rd. Tony Van der Leyen 34th.
Oh,
And Antonio, whoa, hello.
that's a finish. I remember he's racing in VR, so I think he's a little bit ill right now.
Quite possibly. Luckily, the man is okay.
Yeah, luckily
The
himself is okay.
one of the best things about simulated racing is you don't have to worry about damage to the person, just the fun flips of a car. That was the Heat 2 results. Victor Lobato, very impressive from him in the feature race. 2 wins for Victor Lobato. 200 points, the absolute most that he could get from this weekend, he has gotten from this weekend. Jordi Clara gets himself 80 points. Super impressive weekend from him and really built himself up back to where he wants to be. David P. Perez continues a top finish with 70 points.
Wow, this is amazing close racing. As we see P25, P26 and P27 very close to each other. Wow, it's not only very close in the top of the field, but also in the back of the field.
Yes, unfortunately Tom Voss not able to gain on his 2 points that he's had overall. Another 0 points. for Tom Voss.
Wow. But I see we are joined by Jordi Clara and Raul Diago. Yeah, Jordi Clara, if you want to talk and answer some questions. Very good race. Just not in front of Victor Lobato. I'm sure if you had another lap, it will be very close. What are your thoughts on the race? Did you enjoy?
Well, the race was very good for me. I had a really great pace here. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to try to overtake Victor because I ran out of duration of the race.
Okay.
Anyway, Victor was very fast as well. Maybe I was maybe one and a half 10 per lap, not more than that. And David as well. I hit him again in the second race and 2 times in this race. I feel very sorry. But well, this race is going to be about 3-4 positions for David, Raúl, Victor, and me. So it was very a competitive race. So I'm happy with the result today.
Yeah, it was very nice to see. And over here we have also a winner of today's races, Victor Lobato. Hello.
Hello.
Very nice race. And I don't know if you heard our nickname for you, but this night you're a Victory Lobato. What are your thoughts on the race?
Sorry, but my English is not very well.
No worries. You can also talk Spanish or whatever you want.
Okay. The race, bueno, perdón, la carrera ha sido bastante dura con Jordi Clará, todo el rato presionando, tanto en la carrera 1 como en la carrera 2. Y bueno, la carrera 1 ha sido algo más tranquila el final de carrera, esta al contrario, ha sido agotadora. Y nada, la verdad es que creo que hoy Raúl, Jordi y David eran un poco más rápido que yo. Pero bueno, en la primera carrera tuve una muy buena salida que luego tuve que solo, entre comillas solo, mantener la primera posición, y en la segunda carrera la verdad que ahí pude adelantar a Raúl porque tuvo un pequeño error, le cogí el rebufo y luego con Daniel Herrera me pude escapar, que hizo ahí un poquito de tapón, y la verdad es que no he dado todo, no había más. Así que felicitar a Jordi, a Raúl y a David por semejante ritmo que llevaban hoy, y ya está.
Yeah, thank you for that great explanation of the race. Yeah, congrats to you. Very well done to win 2 times. That's very impressive. Now we have Raúl Diago also with us. Raúl, what are your thoughts on this race?
Yeah, hello everybody.
Hello.
I have a hard race because I don't have a good feeling with a car, but I can keep the 3 guys on the top. I think Victor, David, and Jordi have a little more than me, but I keep the P4 and P3, and it's a good position for me today.
Yeah, it was you drove a tremendous race today. Very good, and yeah, thank you for being a part of this race again. Yeah, Martin, how did your race go this time? You get a lot of places.
No, in the end, the inevitable happened. It was 2 corners before the final corner. Koen had a bad middle of the corner, so I tapped him for X. So I needed to go into the pits, and since it's the last lap, yeah, then you're kind of screwed. So I fell back to P31, but had some really great fighting. Unlucky, I made 2 mistakes myself. The one where I got hit from behind, and another one which you guys missed in the final corner, which set me back, because I think in the end could have had the pace for somewhere around P16, P5, P15.
Yeah, it really looked like that you have had a lot of fun on track. You had some great battles. Thank you for competing again. Well, those were the driver interviews. It was a really nice race. Over here we have also Michael in this channel. Michael, do you want to say something about this race? I think Michael has lost connection. That doesn't matter.
He was saying he's had a bit of a rough weekend in terms of his health, so no problem from Michael. Thank you very much, everybody. All your driver interviews, very insightful as always, very enlightening, and great racing from every single one of you. And it was a great race in general. The championship standings, Victor Lobato has taken first place in the championship standings, taking it from David P. Perez, who drops down to third place. What a fantastic race this was. Race day 3, very exciting.
It was very exciting. Again, we don't know where we needed to look, because there was a lot of action going on this race again. So excited to be part over here. And David, you did an amazing job. Really.
Thank you very much. Same back to you, my friend, with your very entertaining all the way through, and hopefully you'll join us on the commentary booth again for some more fantastic nicknames.
I will do it. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much, everybody. Please to tune in next week for race day 4. We are sure to bring you even more very exciting racing, as the championship standings sure to change again. It's very tight at the top, but Victor Lobato gets himself a bit of an advantage now. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody.